This oil change is going to be pretty dope when we get around to it finally. Got that Bell Ray EXS, man. It's supposed to be some crazy, insane oil, man. Longest oil change intervals out of any Bell Ray product. It's going to be pretty dope, man. They put this crap in super bikes, dude. But, you know, it's funny enough, that's what's recommended for this thing in the manual. So I was just like, hey, I got a good deal on Rocky Mountain ATV. If you guys don't use Rocky Mountain ATV, seriously, you need to start doing it.
What's up, dudes? It's your boy Motard Steve, bringing you another moto vlog. Another Motard Monday that's not filmed on a Monday. Whoa! Vlogception, bro. Oh! What's up, Jixer buddy? Jixer buddy! We got 3,300 miles on the Husqvarna 701. I figured now would be a good time. I got enough mileage, I got enough seat time. We can go ahead and give you a review. That turbo diesel, though. Sounds like a damn spaceship. So I'm waiting on this line. Through the KFC we go. God, this parking lot sucks. Let's go ahead and get the bad stuff out of the way. The things I don't like about the 701, there's a couple things, there's not a lot. You know, $12,000 bike, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. But let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So, first things first is I hate the fact that this thing does not come with decent handguards out of the box. I paid $12,000 for a damn bike, especially a Supermoto. I expect it to at least have decent handguards and a decent bash plate. This bike comes with the crappiest excuse for handguards ever. It's literally a metal bar, cheap metal at that, it seems like, that goes from the handlebar end to about here. And then the rest of it is just a plastic shield. And then it's mounted with like zip ties and like, I don't know, dude, it's retarded. It's really, really retarded. The KTM 690 has better handguards than the Husqvarna. Come on now. And you know, it doesn't even come with a bash plate at all. You'd think with the 701 Enduro coming with the plastic bash plate that the Supermoto would at least have that. No, it doesn't come with anything. Nothing at all. Gripe number two, I don't know if you guys can tell, but you notice how it kind of looks like my bars are a little cocked to the right, sort of? Yeah, when I looped my bike, which I know that's not like a real good point to make, but anyway, I looped my bike and it tweaked the bars. Now, most bikes, it's fairly easy to get the bars and everything back straight. You know, I straightened my triple clamp out, I straightened everything out, but the bars won't fully straighten out because of the stupid rubber mounted bars. Now, I get what they were doing. I get it. They mounted the bars with rubber mounts to get rid of all the vibrations in the handlebars, which, that's worked, to be honest with you. I don't feel any kind of vibrations in these bars at all. And I've went on really, really long rides. We're talking 4 or 5 hour rides. Hands have never hurt from bar vibrations or anything like that. So that part worked. At least it's functional. But the crappy thing is once the rubber starts to kind of crack and break where the bars mount, it's almost virtually impossible to get the bars to mount back the proper way. So I'm going to be replacing those with some hard mounts pretty soon. The stock gearing is trash. It's absolute trash. I mean, these bikes have got to pass EPA tests. And one of those EPA tests it has to pass is a flyby test. And what that basically is I don't know the specifics of it, but let's just say I know what the hell I'm talking about. Let's say it's got to hit 30 miles per hour. Are you going to go through here? Or what in the fuck? I was going to let you go through. You're an idiot. You're a fucking huge idiot. Wow, okay, sorry, I got sidetracked by dumb South Carolina drivers again. So yeah, let's say the bike has to be going 30 miles per hour and they set a microphone up. It's got to be under a certain amount of decibels when it goes by. So what a lot of KTM does, and Husky, and probably a lot of other bikes, I'm not sure about the Jap brands, they basically throw really high gearing on the bike so it can pass that inspection. So the downside is when the consumer gets the bike, they got to correct that, which is a minor annoyance, it's a pain, but it's just one of those things. So throwing a 15 tooth on there is amazing. It does amazing things to the bike. Really wakes it up, really makes it feel like a 75 horsepower Supermoto. Because before, with the 16 tooth, you weren't shifting into 6th gear unless you were going like 75. Just the bottom of 6th gear was right around 70, 75. And if you shifted into it any sooner than that, the bike just basically sounded like this. See how it's real, like, oh, and then we shift into a false neutral like an idiot. But you see what I mean? It was just really like chuggy and really low. Which the 701's got some luggability, but not that much luggability. It likes to be more of a mid-range RPMs. A lot of people like get this bike. I see people do first impressions of this bike and they're like, man, it's just not as powerful as I thought it would be. It's because of that gearing. Change the countershaft sprocket to a 15 tooth, completely changes the feel of the bike. And then the last thing, I'm not really going to say this is a con against the bike. This is more of a con against the dealer in my opinion. But it's something that did happen and it did annoy the crap out of me. So I felt like I should mention it. But when I first got the bike, literally before I had maybe 25 miles on it, the bike was dead. Meaning that I couldn't ride it. Like it wouldn't start, the fuel pump wouldn't prime, nothing at all. Now the dealer said it was because the kickstand switch threw an error code, which I kind of find really hard to believe because I've been a lot harder on this bike. I would say I've been 5 times harder on this bike than I was the first couple of days that I had the bike. And to think that it hasn't thrown that error code again, that seems fishy to me. But that's what they said it was. But everyone in the forums and stuff like that said that it was the dealer didn't unlock it out of demo mode. Basically, these bikes ship from the factory with like some kind of like, I don't know, ticking time bomb anti-theft thing on it, to where like, you know, say the dealer gets broken into and someone steals the bike, it's meant to where it would only go for a couple miles and then it will shut down. Basically, once you shut the key off, you're not getting it started back up again until the dealer unlocks it. That's what I was told. Like I said, I'm not 110% sure, but the majority of the 701 community seems to agree with that logic, that the dealer screwed up and didn't unlock something in the ECU, causing it to shut down. So I'm gonna believe them over my dealer. Because of course the dealer is going to say otherwise, because oh no, it wasn't our fault, it's just the bike's being weird. So that's a con. But other than that, that's literally the only cons I can think of with this bike. So let's go ahead and get into the good stuff. 75 horsepower Supermoto. Amazing. Dude, the power on this bike is absolutely amazing. Once you change the gearing, it really starts to feel like one too. I mean, it rips, man. It definitely rips. As far as the chassis is amazing. A lot of people think it's weird as hell because it is kind of like a unique thing to the 701 and the 690. But the subframe being the gas tank is actually really, really awesome. You know, if you guys ride BMX, you guys know to do manuals, it's recommended to shift your weight back and low. So this thing has a very awesome balance point for wheelies with the rear mounted tank. And not only that, but without having about 10 to 15 pounds of gas on the top of your bike, where you normally would, having it in the rear really makes the bike feel super nimble and lightweight. We'll continue this back after I get done eating lunch with my fiance. And
know, while we're off the bike, we'll go ahead and look. One thing I like but don't like about this bike is the Conti attacks. They're really good. They're really sticky. Not the best for commuting and stuff though, because as you can see, it's already like flat spotting pretty bad here. Like this used to be a full hook. Now it's like, I don't know what you would call that. But real sticky, as you can see, man, I really wore my chicken strips down on the mountain meat. Look at that. I've never had chicken strips that small. This one, I don't favor this side.
That was a good little lunch. Trying to eat a little better, so I had a power veggie bowl. Oh no, you're not supposed to go left, but YOLO. So the next thing I love about the 701, which is kind of crazy for a Supermoto, but ABS. ABS is pretty awesome to have. Because, you know, if you're not super precise with your braking, you know, if you heavy brake or panic brake at any point, you don't have to worry about sliding out and low siding. Which, I'm not going to lie, I've had my fair share of heavy brakes where I've had to, like, panic brake because some idiot stopped in front of me or, you know, something like that. So the ABS is cool, although I guess something I don't like about it is the bike doesn't remember your ABS settings, but I guess that's good in a way. Wheelies, as I mentioned earlier, the rear mounted tank is amazing for wheelies. Maintenance is actually pretty good with this bike. Now I've made a video, it hasn't came out yet. I don't know if it's going to come out before this video or not, but you know, oil change intervals are really lax on this thing, man. Highway riding, this bike will do highway riding just fine. I've had this thing on the highway plenty of times. Doesn't feel like it's falling behind. It keeps up with traffic. Hell, it passes traffic if you want it to. You know, even with the stock gearing, it's like ridiculous, man. I'd say if you're going to do a lot of highway riding, then the stock gearing will be pretty good. But even with the 15 tooth, you're still going to be cruising 75, no problem. So plenty enough for highway riding. And just, you know, like oil changes, I've been changing it about every 1,000 miles, but more of that in that other video. It's the way I ride it. I change it more often than, you know, your usual everyday just commuter, because, you know, I ride this thing hard. I do wheelies on it. I freaking rip around some turns, accelerate hard through the gears a lot, which is harder on the oil than just your everyday shifting around, getting back and forth, point A to point B riding. So I change it about every 1,000 miles. I could probably let it go to 2,000, but, you know, I noticed with Mobile 1 at least, we'll find out when I stick the Bel Ray in it, but with the Mobile 1 at least, it starts to kind of feel not as smooth around 1,000 miles. And that's with mountain trips. If I don't do a mountain trip, I probably will stretch it to 1,500 to $2,000. The 701, if you're thinking about getting one, it's definitely like the DRZ on steroids. I know that may sound like an insult, but the DRZ is not a bad bike, man. I mean, it's got decent power, and it's really, really easy to live with. And the 701, I think, is the same in that regards. It's real easy to live with. I mean, the maintenance intervals as far as the valve service, you know, you got to check it every 6,000 miles. I think the DRZ is like every 8 or 10,000 maybe. It might be more, I don't know. So, you know, I mean, you got to wrench on it a little bit more than a DRZ, but as far as your regular maintenance, I mean, it's pretty much the same. Just change the oil, make sure the valves are in spec every 6,000 miles, and just put gas in it and ride, and, you know, make sure your coolant level's fine. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing crazy you got to do with this bike. It's just a powerhouse of a damn machine that you can just rip around on and do some general maintenance on and not have to worry too much about it. So it's been good. It's been a good 3,300 miles. Hopefully, I'll be doing a later video where this thing's got about 100,000 miles on it. Hopefully.
dangerous. Talk my shit, no changing us. You can't smoke no dank with us. All your dogs be fake as fuck. All this cash we raking up. Baby, take this eighth, this love can't stop cause I ain't made enough. Bitch, I need them paper cuts. I'm the type to smoke until I fade it. Tell her roll up, let's get them blazing. You know this life is so amazing. Even though years always changing. Got all my young niggas gaining.